Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about vitamin E. Vitamin E is a fat soluble vitamin. It is otherwise called as tocopherols. This is the general structure of vitamin E. There are mainly four types of tocopherols: alpha, beta, gamma and delta. These tocopherols differ from each other in the number of position of methyl groups. That means alpha tocopherol is 5, 7, 8 methyl tocopherol. In the 5th, 7th and 8th position there will be methyl group. In the case of alpha tocopherol, that is alpha means 5, 7, 8 trimethyl tocol. 5, 7, 8 trimethyl tocol. Then beta means 5, 8 dimethyl tocol. 5, 8. In the 5th and 8th position there will be methyl groups. Then gamma means 7, 8 dimethyl tocol. That means in the 7th and 8th position there will be methyl groups. Then delta means delta is 8 methyl tocol. 8 methyl tocol. That is in the 8th position there will be this methyl group. In all the tocopherols, alpha tocopherol is the most active in vitamin E activity. Alpha is the most active. The presence of phenolic OH group on the 6th position. This is the 6th position in the chromine ring. So, the presence of phenolic OH group on 6th carbon of the chromine ring is the most important group for its antioxidant activity. Next, we will see dietary sources and recommended allowance. First is dietary sources. Cotton seed oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, wheat germ oil and margarine are the richest sources of vitamin E. That is, almost all vegetable oils are the richest sources of vitamin E. It is also found in fair quantities in dry soybeans, cabbage, yeast, lettuce, apple seeds and peanuts. Then coming to recommended allowance, its unit is represented as 1 mg recommended allowance. That is 1 mg of D-alpha tocopherol equals 1.49 international units. Then 1 mg DL-alpha tocopherol acetate equals 1 international units. Its normal blood level is equal to 1.2 mg per dl. 1.2 mg per dl. Then recommended daily allowance is in children 10 to 15 IU per day. 10 to 15 IU per day. Then in adults 20 to 25 IU per day. In adults 20 to 25 IU per day. This requirement is higher in pregnancy and in lactating mother. Next we will see absorption, distribution and excretion of vitamin E. Absorption, distribution and excretion. Free tocopherols and their esters are readily absorbed in small intestine. With the help of bile acids. Free tocopherols and their esters are readily absorbed in small intestine with the help of bile acids. Then in small intestine, this absorbed vitamin E is transported to liver. From small intestine, it is transported to liver. Then in liver, it gets incorporated into lipoproteins. In liver, it is incorporated into lipoproteins. And then carried by blood to muscle tissues and to adipose tissue. Then it is carried by blood to muscle tissue and adipose tissue. So, free tocopherols and their esters are absorbed in small intestine with the help of bile acids. This absorbed vitamin E is then transported to liver. Then in liver, it incorporated into lipoproteins and they are carried by blood to muscles and adipose tissue for storage. The normal value of blood level is around 1 mg per dl. And it is transported chiefly in the alpha lipoprotein fraction. Alpha lipoprotein. It is transported chiefly in alpha lipoprotein fraction. Under normal dietary conditions, there is no significant excretion of tocopherols in urine or feces because it rapidly and extensively undergoes destruction in the GI tract and in tissues. So, under normal dietary conditions, there is no significant excretion of tocopherols either in urine or feces because it rapidly and extensively undergoes destruction in the GI tract and in tissues. Then placental transfer of vitamin E is limited, but mammary transfer is increased. So, the serum alpha tocopherol level of breastfed infants increases more rapidly than that of bottle-fed infants because mammary transfer is increased. This is the absorption, distribution and excretion. Next, we will see functions of vitamin E. Functions of vitamin E. First one is antioxidant property. Antioxidant property. This is the most important function of vitamin E, that is by removal of free radicals. Removal of free radicals. Vitamin E is involved in removal of free radicals and prevents their peroxidative effects on unsaturated lipids of membranes. Vitamin E is involved in removal of free radicals and they prevent the peroxidative effect of free radicals on unsaturated lipids of the membranes, thus helps in maintaining the integrity of cell membrane. Next, we will see vitamin E prevents peroxidation. Role of vitamin E as antioxidants. Role of vitamin E as antioxidant in cell membrane. This polyunsaturated fatty acid free radical. This is free radical. This is the initiator of chain reaction. Here one oxygen H. Then it is converted to polyunsaturated fatty acid free radical. Peroxyl free radical of polyunsaturated fatty acid. OO. Otherwise lipid peroxide radical. Then this is the first step. In the second step, this polyunsaturated fatty acid peroxide free radical here TOC OH, that is alpha tocopherol, it is converted to TOC O, that is free radical of alpha tocopherol. Then it forms PUFAOOH. Then it is converted again back to free tocopherol with the help of vitamin C reduced or GSH. Here vitamin C oxidized or GSSG. This is the role of vitamin E as antioxidant, that is vitamin E or alpha tocopherol reacts with the lipid peroxide radicals. This is the lipid peroxide radical. This lipid peroxide radical is formed by the peroxidation of this polyunsaturated fatty acid. This lipid peroxide radical is formed by the peroxidation. Here one free radical. So the peroxidation of free radical, lipid peroxide radical is formed. Then this alpha tocopherol reacts with this peroxide radical, lipid peroxide radical, before they can be established a chain reaction acting as free radical trapping antioxidant. Then the tocopheroxy free radical, this is the tocopheroxy free radical product. This is then alpha tocopherol reacts with this lipid peroxide free radical to form the product is tocopheroxy free radical. This is formed in the process is relatively unreactive. This one is unreactive. Tocopheroxy free radical is unreactive and ultimately forms non-radical compounds. Usually the tocopheroxyl free radical, it is converted back to free tocopherol by reaction with vitamin C from plasma or by reduced glutathione. It is converted back to free tocopherols. That is role of vitamin E as antioxidant. Then second function is in the role its role in reproduction in rats. Second function is reproduction in rats. Vitamin E helps in maintaining seminiferous epithelium intact. Its deficiency leads to irreversible degenerative changes and leads to permanent sterility. Then motility of sperms is lost and spermatogenesis is impaired. In female rats, the ovary is unaffected by vitamin E deficiency, but the fetus does not develop normally and dying in utero, undergoing resorption. That is the second function in reproduction. Next one is other functions. Other functions include tocopherol derivative tocopheranolactone. Tocopheranolactone. This is a tocopherol derivative. It is involved in the synthesis of coenzyme Q or ubiquinone. Coenzyme Q or ubiquinone. Then vitamin E has role in nucleic acid synthesis. These are the main functions of vitamin E. Next we will see deficiency of vitamin E. Deficiency. First one is muscular dystrophy. Muscular dystrophy. Vitamin E deficiency leads to increased oxidation of polyunsaturated fatty acids in the muscle with a consequent rise in oxygen consumption and peroxide production. So, vitamin E deficiency leads to increased oxidation of polyunsaturated fatty acids with a consequent rise in oxygen consumption and peroxide production. Peroxides then cause an increase in intracellular hydrolase activity. These peroxides cause increase in the intracellular hydrolase activity. It is by affecting the lysosomal membranes. These hydrolases then catalyzes breakdown in muscle and produces muscular dystrophy. The muscle creatinine is low and creatinuria occurs. That is muscular dystrophy. Next one is hemolytic anemia. Hemolytic anemia. Low tocopherol diet produce low plasma tocopherol. Increased susceptibility to hemolysis due to peroxides and diluric acid. This is the reason for hemolytic or macrocytic anemia. Then there will be symptoms like extensive edema, reticulocytosis, thrombocytosis and thrombus formation in blood vessels, then increased susceptibility of RBC to hemolyzing effect of peroxides and dilutic acid. These symptoms are aggravated by diets rich in essential fatty acids. Clinical cases of vitamin E deficiency is found in lipoproteinemia and in diseases like sprue, obstructive jaundice, pancreatitis and steatorrhea. That is hemolytic anemia. The next one is dietary hepatic necrosis. Dietary hepatic necrosis. Diets low in cystine and rich in polyunsaturated fatty acid can cause hepatic necrosis. Fall in acetate utilization and in respiration of necrotic liver is effectively cured or prevented by tocopherols. Vitamin E and factor 3. Factor 3 means factor 3 is a selenite compound. Selenite compound. This factor 3 and vitamin E are complementary to one another in preventing hepatic necrosis or muscular dystrophies. That is dietary hepatic necrosis. Then clinical and therapeutic use of vitamin E. Vitamin E is used in nocturnal muscle cramps. Nocturnal muscle cramps. Then intermittent claudication. Intermittent claudication. Next one is fibrocystic breast disease. Fibrocystic breast disease and in atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis. These are the clinical and therapeutic uses of vitamin E. So this is about vitamin E. This is today's topic. Thank you for watching.